Today's card, if you're watching this for the first time, you can go back to the introduction and the One of Wind, the day one video to understand what we're doing here and what this is all about. But hopefully I'm going to keep these future videos a little bit shorter. All right, so the card that I drew today is the Wheel of Fortune. And I didn't really ask a question as I was drawing the card today. I was sort of shuffling the cards and asking what should the question be. But subconsciously, I really want to build on the lessons from yesterday and the One of Wind, which was the dominant card in the days before that. And to keep that feeling of lightness, of curiosity, and of wonder. And the key X feels like a heavier card. So I wrote down some of the insights that I got just by looking at the card. And so I'll put a picture on the little thumbnail. But there's a spiral you can see coming out of the palm of a human hand, a cupped palm, and the imagery and the feeling that I got from that is that life itself is a spiral, and we are choosing whether we are having an upward spiral or whether we are having a downward spiral in that life, in our life, and in whatever circumstances or events are happening. But you know, as I delved into the book, there's more to it than that. And also the feeling that life is in the palm of my hand, that I am the creator, that we are the creators of our lives. And so the divinatory meaning of the key X, the Wheel of Fortune, and again, this is from Kabbalah, or Tarot of the Spirit, the Kabbalah Studies by Pamela Eakins. Your fate is changing, rising or falling. Stay balanced through these changes. You are responsible for your own state. Whatever you are seeking without is a manifestation of your desire to understand your own inner spirit. The ultimate goal is to stay balanced in heart, mind, spirit, and body through all the upward and downward movements of life. In times of sadness, retain your equilibrium. In times of joy, retain your equilibrium also. So the key cards, the documentation is really, really long, so I'm not going to share all of that, but just some of the things that I highlighted and some of the insights that I gained from this. And the final message is to stay at center, that the wheel of life is turning all the time. And I pictured this as kind of like a merry-go-round. Do you remember this when you were kids? Whereas if you were you could stand in the very center and you would just kind of gently turn, right, with the merry-go-round. But the closer you get to the edges, the more prone you are to being flung off as the merry-go-round gains speed. So this is kind of an imagery that came to me. So the Wheel of Fortune is the wheel of karma, of chance, of return, of consciousness. And it's a game of mastery over that which falls out, over that which is given and that which is taken away, that which is created and that which dissolves. And so this was a comforting feeling for me, as I mentioned that this feels like a time of great transition for me, and that the message is to be centered, to be grounded, to be balanced, and to not give circumstances the power to throw me off balance. And this next passage really applies to that. It says, you may not be in control of all the cards you are dealt, but you choose how you will react. You judge. You hold on to that which seems beneficial. You discard that which appears extraneous. You learn to be clever. You learn to be creative. we're on this journey becoming familiar with where we're strong and where we're weak, perceiving our limits, perceiving the lines that we will cross willingly and the lines that we will never cross. At this key, it says your fortune is changing, and this could be a rising or a falling. It could be an accumulation of things that you want. It could be a place of failure, of things coming apart. And, you know, it goes on to state that this is not new, that this is a cycle that happens throughout our lives, that we have gains, we have losses, we have defeats, and we have victories, and that this is just the way that life goes, and that our work, our goal is to remain at the center. So in realizing your goals, you've experienced the degree to which you created the circumstances of your achievement, and that creating reality is an intricate and paradoxical process. Learning to detach or distance ourselves from emotional attachment to outcome is a carrying through of the message from the Fool from yesterday, is to be in the present, be in the process, be unattached to the outcome. And this to me says the same repeating message as always, as this is a journey that we are on, and the end of the journey is our death. And there are many, many milestones on the way of things that we want to accomplish, dreams that we want to achieve, experiences that we want to have. But that the true secret of living this life in joy and happiness and freedom is enjoying all of the steps on the journey. So at Key X, you are in transition. Your star is rising or falling. This world is not to be escaped, only to be understood. So we must understand its context, and context means bringing in dark and light and all of the beautiful shades and nuances that are created in between. And reaching the eternal light at the center of the wheel symbolizes deliverance from attachment to material outcome. And so this is a meaning to me that, well, this next passage, all experiences, whether manifesting as positive or negative, enrich us. Just as we experience the depths of the spirit through pleasure, we also experience those depths through pain. And just as every accomplishment has the potential of bringing out the best in us, it also has the potential of bringing out the beast, as does negative experience. So this is something that we choose. What Wayne Dyer talks in one of his lectures about how what is inside you comes out when you're squeezed. Just like when you squeeze an orange, what comes out is orange juice. So if you are filling yourself up with goodness and light and things of beauty and things of grace, then when you are under pressure, this is what comes out. And that this is a choice that we are making, our response to the circumstances of life. So the final message that I'm going to read verbatim because it's really good is the lesson of the Wheel of Fortune is to hold the center. If you stand centered at the hub, watching as the world of the senses transpires, you can achieve balance. Even while experiencing the world of the senses, you can open the door to divinity. Then in times of accomplishment, you will remain balanced. Then in times of tragedy, you will remain balanced. You hold the center. That is strength, to be at center. And holding the center, you cannot be thrown off. Through holding the center, you become master of time and fate. At center, you hold the key to your fortune in your own curved palm. At center, you become the mature individual, the wheel that rolls out of its own center. So I am loving this study. I'm loving this message. I would dearly love to hear what you learned, what insights you gained, what messages Spirit gives to you through the receiving of this study, through the walking alongside me on this journey of this daily spiritual study. I love you so much. I will see you soon.